Foundations, concealers, quads, palettes, setting powders, and shadow primers. Now foundations, the only new one that I tried last year was the Armani Lasting Silk UV foundation. And this is medium, well, I would say light to medium coverage. I love this foundation. It works in the summer, it makes your skin feel good. I will always repurchase this. This was the only new foundation that I tried last year, or was it also the year before? I can't remember. And the Pro Longwear, I think this was the year before last, whatever, but still, I still like this. This is full coverage, also for oily skin. Double Wear Light, I've used this for years, I will always stick to this. I tried getting back into the Makeup Forever, the Matte Velvet Plus, but there just isn't one single color that matches me. I don't like the color setup, the way the colors are set up, the system with their foundation. It's really confusing. There's not one single color that matches me. The 35 is too... I can't even explain it. They just don't match, so I've given up on this. Hourglass Veil, I really like this. The problem with this is it's a bit red, and one color lighter is just a bit too dark, but it's a nice foundation. It stays on perfect. And of course the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation SPF 15, also one foundation I would always go back to. Other than that, the only new one I tried, like I said, is the Armani, and I really like this one. Speaking of Armani, the concealer, a lot of people love this. This happens to be the number 2, and it works. It covers up dark circles, but too drying for my eyes, so I wouldn't repurchase this one. Hourglass, this is what I used to use on my forehead for my hyperpigmentation. Worked really nice. I like this concealer, but also not for underneath the eyes. It's also too drying for me. Concealer that I dislike the most that I purchased last year is the Clinique All About Eyes concealer. This doesn't work at all for me. It cakes up. It looks raunchy underneath the eyes. I don't like it. And then I ordered a concealer quad from Coastal Scents. And believe it or not, this is my #1 concealer. This looks kind of trashy. I dropped it already and it's broke. And I use this like crazy, especially this color. You wouldn't believe how creamy this goes on. It stays on, you don't have to set it. You can set it with powder and it still doesn't look cakey. I just wanted to try it, and when I tried it, the texture blew me away, I have to say. This is the Camo Quad. This happens to be in medium, and it's all nasty, of course. Well, I have foundation on my hands, I have to clean my hands. But like I said, to me this is a perfect concealer. I would say it's medium to full coverage. It is buildable. Setting powders, I went through a bunch of them. A lot of these I've had, a couple of these I've had pretty long, and I just don't use them anymore. I don't like the look or the texture of some of them. The one that I purchased new, I held back on this for quite a while before I ordered it. I figured all these setting powders, especially the white ones, I mean they have silica, they have mica in it, and so what's the big difference? But there is a big difference. And I finally found the setting powder. No more other brands. I'm sticking to Laura Mercier. This is the Universal Invisible Loose Setting Powder. Perfect. Evens the skin, it doesn't cake up. You can either blast it on tons of it and it still looks fine, or you can just use a little bit. Little does go a long way with this. And this is my new setting powder, and I'm sticking to the e.l.f. booster. This is e.l.f. Mineral Booster Sheer. Can't deal with that one. This one I ordered off of Amazon once, High Definition Extreme Close-Up HD. I don't even know which brand this is. This wasn't too bad. I don't know what brand that is. So a lot of people talked about this last year. This is the Bye Bye Pores, the Poreless HD Micro Powder. I used this about 3 times, I would say, and another powder, it for some reason it doesn't look right on my skin tone. The Invisible Powder from Hourglass. I've mentioned this one a long time ago also. This one looks ashy on this skin for some reason. Okay, now coming to worst of all products again, L'Oreal Studio Secrets. It's weird how the primer I like best and the powder I don't like at all. The Studio Secrets Universal Fix, what is it called? Well, their setting powder. I would compare this to flour. I mean, you can just use flour and put that in your face and it would be the same. I don't like it. For some reason, I mean, it's finely milled, but it's still, the texture of it, it cakes up. It doesn't look right. I don't like it. And then the Makeup Forever, of course. This is nice too. To me, this is too finely milled and it just gets everywhere. It's just too messy for me. And of course the Laura Mercier is also finely milled, but for some reason this is a big mess. And between these two, this still looks better. It evens the skin texture a lot better than this does. Okay, moving on to shadow primers. Okay, another big subject. I have tons of these. I've tried I don't know how many, and I'm just gonna mention a couple of them that I really like. One color that I don't like too much. The Too Faced Shadow Insurance. This is nice if you're looking for an invisible one. Urban Decay, I like this one better than the regular Urban Decay. This is I think this is called Sin. And this, I always repurchase these. I've used this for years. The Laura Mercier in Buff. This is almost empty, but I have a backup of this. And this is a perfect shadow primer. She did bring out, I think, 2 different types of shadow primers. I'm not sure if I will try these this year or whatever, because I like this so much. But from the regular line, this is Flax. From the regular line, the only color I like is Buff, because the texture of it doesn't look flat. If you compare it to Flax, if I put this aside and blend it, which is not gonna probably show, but the Flax looks really, really flat on your eyes compared to the Buff. Number 1 shadow primer for me, which I love best, is Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Shadow Cream. It looks like this. These are only sold in the States and Asia, I think. This is in the color 06 Ivory Lace. Okay, now you see, I've had these, I don't know how long. My friend Didi introduced me to these and she mailed me some. We talked about it a long time ago, and she said, oh, try these, blah blah blah. And so I tried them, and another one of them products that blew me away. It's creamy, they stay on, they blend perfectly, nice velvety texture. And of course, if you look at MAC, they end up looking like this sooner or later, and I can't stand that. It just irritates me. I keep this tightly closed. I set it upside down. I did everything with this and it looks like this. This is groundwork. I like the color, but a product shouldn't do that it dries up like this. That's the reason I am not purchasing these anymore. I have 3 of the Estee Lauder. This is in the color 14 Rich Bronze. And also the bronze I use least, and look at that, it's still creamy like first day. It's also a really nice color, and you can actually use this alone as a shadow. Now coming to my number one favorite, this is 01 in Pink Blush. I use this like crazy. This is such an amazing color, and I also love this on Asian eyes. Whenever doing makeup on Asian eyes, once you put this on your eyes, you look totally awake. It's such a nice color. I don't know if it'll show up, but perfect shadow primer for me. I was so glad Didi introduced me to these. The Longwear Cream Shadow from Bobbi Brown. I like these. You can use these as a shadow base. These also stay creamy, really nice texture. This is in the color Stone. I could probably do around 3 full videos just doing palettes, single shadows. So I cut it down, otherwise it would never end. What I got recently from MAC Carbon, this is from the Metal X. I use this also for lining. I actually like this color, it stays on. Favorite ones from NARS, of course, is for New York, Grenadines, and all-time favorite, Ashes to Ashes. I probably would have never came across this color if Daisy didn't show this. Came out last year with a bunch of small palettes, 5 color shadow. This is the Caribbean collection. I have, I think, 2 other ones, but this is my favorite one from NYX. Okay, some of the single shadows. Yves Saint Laurent YSL came out with cream shadows last year. I think this is number 2. They look like this. They're water resistant eyeshadows, and they are water resistant. These will not come off with soap. These are really long lasting. They stay on. The only problem I have with these is once they're on, they're on. So if you make a little mistake with a brush or your fingers, that's how it will look once you have it on. Otherwise you have to take it off again. And you also they dry really fast, so you have to work really fast with these. But they are water resistant and they stay on. Amazing staying power. Inglot for the pigmentation. I have these 2. I won't go through the colors. I wanted more Inglot palettes last year, but I had a lot of problems finding the colors. I don't like the website, how it's set up, so I gave up on that. And this trio here, which is just some neutral colors, which are really nice. I use these a lot also. Of course, we know the pigmentation is amazing. Now to some English brands, of course, Sleek. Love these Sleek palettes. I have a bunch of these. I won't go through all of them. I'm just basically the neutral ones. This, I think, is one of the first ones that came out. And there's this one. Love the Sleek palettes. Love all the Sleek products, the blushes, but I'll do that later. Wet n Wild, I think. And I really like these shadows. Extremely pigmented, easy blendable, nice colors. I like these. And considering Wet n Wild back in the, what was it, beginning 90s, I think it was, the texture of their eyeshadows used to be awful, so they have improved a lot. Louise Young, I love this palette. I use this a lot. You can use these as shadows, liners, anything. Texture is amazing, great quality. Hourglass, this is the number 6 volume. This took me a while before I ordered it, but I don't regret this. This is the Dare palette from Sleek. Really nice colors, nice texture, comes with a really nice brush. And yeah, I really like this. This I wanted so bad, and my friend Jan, she sent me this for Christmas. This is from Tarte, the True Collector's palette. I don't use this very much because I like just how it looks. Amazing colors. I used some of them. especially these up here and this color. But love this, really nice, and it has some extra products down in here you can slide out, and I just think it's neat to have. Makeup Academy Professional, the UK brand. I cannot say anything bad about these. I use this like crazy. This happens to be Heaven and Earth, and I use these for lining, shadowing,